his sons, having played sport at a local level in Leeds, Andy and Fast Signs have a long history of helping local sports clubs and organisations like Kippax Welfare Rugby League, Garforth Rangers Football Club and North Leeds Cricket Club with products such as events banners, honours boards and changing room signage, as well as providing signs and graphics to the mighty Leeds Rhinos and Leeds United for over the last 30 years. So if you're involved in a local sports club, get in touch with Andy and his team for advice and help with your signs. I'm sure he'll do you a great deal if you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everyone, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs, who have done another excellent job, by the way. I've seen the new signage at the Rhinos Kirksall training ground. But my question, I wonder if the Rhinos mentioned us, as in the Lot Pod, to Andy at Fast Signs, because they would have I'm sure Andy would have given them some kind of discount for mentioning.
Yeah.
So if not, then the Rhinos have missed a trick there.
Missed a trick, haven't they?
Andy and the team would have given him a decent price. So if you didn't Rhinos, then or anyone else,
they'd have gone through.
Go down at Fast Signs and mention the Lot Pod. I'm sure Andy and the guys will give you a decent price. Match review panel time. Eddie, producer Chris, and Phil are here with me. How are you, producer Chris?
Very, very well.
That's a beautiful shirt you're wearing.
Right, it's a good one, isn't it? Belter.
It's a classic.
What year, Philip? 80.
It's got Eddie Rombo vibes about it. I've got a vision of Eddie Rombo in that.
85.
I'm not sure.
Same with conviction.
The youngest signs come off. I think at the 80s.
Did that have the youngest sign?
Yeah, I've got a blue and yellow one. I've got an home one as well. I think it is 86, 87.
Cliff
maybe.
Lyons, yeah.
I can't remember.
Cliff Lyons era.
They changed to having Carling Black Label.
Yeah.
And
I think it's 86.
They're so difficult to find.
85.
So if anyone's got a Carling Black Label top like this, but the whole
in a
one,
large boys.
I love it.
Chris. I love it. How are you, Phil?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's always a pleasure to be back.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep you on, because you keep stroking my ego.
For the monthly counselling session.
Here we go again. Match review panel time. Leeds 14, Hull KR 20. In true Lot Pod style, is that correct? 14-20.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah. In true Lot Pod style, keep it in. In true Lot Pod style, we'll start with the positives. Phil, what positives can the Rhinos take from this performance?
First thing for me was a good crowd at Headingley.
I've got that there.
The crowd
absolutely
really
on the
good.
nose.
Even the away end, I know LKR, they're doing well and they travel well.
They really are. Sorry, they really are the best away.
They added a lot to the. We were really vocal yesterday at ground, and it was
and
good.
The amount of numbers that they take over.
It was like a proper Rhinos Friday night atmosphere.
Yeah, it felt like a real good atmosphere.
Yeah. So that was good. Yeah.
Any other positives? He's going to find some.
Cal Watkins a good one,
Always, yeah.
Excellent.
Lockie Miller, he signed up Jake Connor.
Unbelievable.
Good positive, made sure that he got his finger put back in time, but just. I mean, I thought his attack looked better when we threw the ball around a bit and we defended well. We just switched off for that typical Leeds 10-15 minutes, which cost us eventually.
Any positives, producer Chris?
Well, the positive is the negative here, right? So the positive is we are competing with the top teams.
Yeah.
And arguably...
The negative is they always beat us.
Yeah.
Well, arguably, we've been the best side against Warrington. We obviously beat Wigan. Saints and Hull KR. The negative is that 5%.
We lost every game.
Yeah.
Apart from Wigan.
And there's a couple of incidents where I think we lost the game, but we'll go into that. But yeah, so the positive is the negative.
The positive's the negative.
We've got a good side, and it's just that little bit.
It's like Mr. Bell said to us.
That little bit. But,
just that little inch.
I
it's
honestly
a game of inches.
Those results will turn around later on in the year when we've got Croft, Ackers and Smith back.
And Cammy.
Yeah, but don't you think we should be getting wise to that now and try to turn it around now? Because as we've touched on there, we've competed with all them good teams around there, and we haven't seemed to have learnt them lessons from it in terms of managing that, have we?
It's because we're chopping and changing spine.
Yeah.
So it's like, stick with Sinfield now.
Oh, without a doubt, that's done.
Stick with Cine until Croft comes back.
Well, we'll start on Jack. Sorry,
Right.
but we might as well start there now. My positives. Finally, Miller, the crowd, and our defence. For our defence, I know we lapsed at them. I thought our defence was absolutely outstanding. We'll jump straight into the kind of the squad selection. Phil Frawley was dropped. My jaw dropped when I read that news. I genuinely like, wow. Because first of all, I didn't think Brad Arthur would do that. A lot of us were calling for it. We said it on the pod the week before.
Must listen to it.
Brad Arthur clearly listened. Hi, Brad. I didn't expect it. So initially on that Frawley news, how did you?
I didn't even find out till I got to ground when I met my mate Andy there, and he was sitting. They come out and he just
screamed at you. Frawley dropped.
He's dropped Frawley. I mean, he was still obviously out there doing his doing his stuff and things like that. But yeah, I think we missed certain elements of his game in terms of as a bit of kicking game and game management and that type of stuff. But there's obviously something going on. What Brad Arthur's seen and realised, is it time to throw Jack in? We've always said, and we spoke on this pod numerous occasions, that he needs more game time against them top teams and stuff and things like that. It's just, after the first 2 minutes, he probably just didn't fancy it. He needed a rest for 10 minutes, didn't he? But I'm just going to take a break. But Frawley, again, he's just not being consistent. When he's good, he's good. But then when he's non-existent, he is non-existent.
He doesn't exist.
In them game. You know what I mean? So it's like, so not too. I wasn't too shocked, but it'd be interesting to get some rationales to what's going on behind the scenes and why he's being dropped.
Definitely. Well, something that you highlighted on the last pod was that Brad Arthur was not happy with how we ended sets and the kicking on the end of sets, and I feel that was
just it.
That was it, and that's why Matt's, because he does a bit of kicking alongside Connor.
Yeah.
So do you feel that was just the dynamic? That was enough for Jack to get in?
I think that were it.
I think that was literally the only.
Do you think his kicking game had improved yesterday though?
What, Sinfield?
Just
in general?
Just as general game management coming towards them end of sets. Because we did complete quite a lot of sets. We completed
105%.
But I think after, that we completed 9 out of 9 sets. So we'd got to that end kick, but were we still finishing in them right areas in terms of kicking?
In the first half,
good question.
We didn't have any territory.
No.
When you look at stats, we had 2 play the balls in their half.
We
were Hull KR start strong, that's what they do. And we coped with it. And even scored, didn't we? So you were like... I think his kicking game were better.
His attacking kicking game's improved 100% with Jake Connor.
It's really difficult when you're kicking from your own 20-metre line, isn't it?
You just want somebody with a big boot who can get through it.
I know everyone wants them to find ground and all that, but it's extremely difficult.
Yes.
As long as you get some distance between from where you are to where you want to be and your chase is
I
good.
I think Jack did put a couple of decent kicks in that did pin him back a bit. It were a weird game, I thought.
It was, but I was just trying to get, like if we're saying that that's the reason that he's been dropped for his kicking
was
game,
an improvement.
Has his kicking game improved to justify him being dropped in that first place?
I think so, because if we're going back on that other game against Huddersfield, which we should be nailing, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
There were a few times where Frawley kicked and it gave them a 7-tackled set, or it wasn't in the right enough area to attack it, and I think it was just as simple as that. Because to be fair to Frawley, Jack's game's not that dissimilar, is it?
No,
I agree.
That's why I think he's a 9. But anyway, as a 7, his game's not that much different. Is there? So it's not like Jack's going to come in and set the world alight, because he's not that sort of player, is he? I think he'll stick with Jack, but I think Croft will be back against Hull.
Yeah, it says about a month away, something or whatever.
I think both him and Cammy.
We've got a week off at Challenge Cup, haven't we?
Cammy and Brody.
I think the whole game will be back, hopefully. So
perfect timing.
And then obviously Connor just keeps his place, doesn't he?
Yes, because he's the best player in the league. On to the sin binning. I feel it. obviously we're talking about the Sinfield sin binning. Sorry, I feel it set the tone for the game very early on. It is one of those where sometimes it's a red, sometimes it's a yellow, sometimes it's a penalty, and there's lots of mitigation and things between that. But what I felt most disappointed was, and I was shouting it at the game, or it just confirmed that's the rest of the game now, which can become true.
It's been a bit like that all across all the games. I don't know what's happened, whether they've had a
different directive or whatever.
Yeah.
I think...
But as soon as you set that precedent, like instantly, because I was saying to my friend who I go to the games with, I said to him, the South Stand, Leeds now, every tackle that's even remotely high, they're going to be baying for blood to the ref to saying, well, you've just got rid of Sinfield.
That's what happened though, didn't it, straight away? I mean, a lot of it, when you look at them, and they always look 100 times worse in slow motion.
Of course
anyway,
they do. Yeah, absolutely.
And they're looking at it frame by frame.
100%. And they're looking at it too many times.
He did go in with his shoulder, but a lot, you could put that down. He is trying to defend himself. He got caught between two defenders, so he's bracing himself for some impact or whatever, But it did set a precedent. I just wish there were more consistency with its application from officials.
I've absolutely no issue with that as a yellow. But if you look at the 3 cards, that was the worst.
The Sinfield one?
Yeah.
Definitely.
There were a bit of mitigation, but not that much. If you were going to choose a red out of all them 3 head eyes,
it would be that one. Yeah.
It would be that one.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the consistency with me, I think, because, again, I've put myself through the pain and watched the game back today.
I watched it last night.
Ever the pro.
I watched it last night when I got back.
And it was just like, you got Warrior Hargreaves coming in through, high and stuff, and then exactly same tackle being done, and we didn't even get a penalty, and then they got penalised and stuff. So there've got to be that level of consistency, and whether they've got a different directive from director referees or RFL, but there's got to be, especially when they've got all the cameras there and the mics up, they've got to apply that level of consistency with it, because they can't let some people get away with it and then have that same incident happen and then it gets penalised.
I've got a massive issue with Michael Lewis telling him to stay down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've no doubt it is head.
Yeah, because he did.
It's not stay down. We're going to end up with players. I mean, Lockie Miller did it.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with players
He were looking for referee to do it.
I say I've got no issue with the yellow, but Michael Lewis telling him to stay down.
Yeah.
And if it's about player safety, should it not be an automatic HIA if somebody's carded for a head-eye tackle?
Yeah. That's what it should. That's what it should come to, isn't it?
Morgan didn't go off for either of them.
No.
Because we were saying this.
Morg gets 15 head-eye tackles a game, doesn't he?
What was the game? The Warrington game when KP hit Fitzgibbon.
Yeah.
He's running around saying, "Oh, yellow card." Well, he should be off for a HIA then if it's a
and that's what I'm saying.
If it's about player welfare, then
they've got to do it.
Absolutely. Check them off.
Yeah,
it should be a
absolutely
HIA free interchange.
Whether it's a Leeds player or not. Yeah. That's how.
But Jake Connor dislocated his finger, got it put back in, and he had to go off.
I've got a big massive issue with that as
well.
He
had to go off, didn't he, with the green card and come back on?
That's not what the green card was. It was brought in to stop people faking injury, wasn't it? Or play active.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded if ref had said, go off the pitch and get it sorted. But he'd
had it done, hadn't he?
It would done.
So why should a team be disadvantaged when it's already done? So he's gone off. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I watched Huddersfield game today, and Jesus Christ, I couldn't talk to you about the state of that for ages. But anyway, twice a player had blood, so ref stopped the game, let him get sorted.
That didn't go off.
Then carried on.
Yeah.
Where's the green card? We ended up down to 10 men. And it actually came to fruition.
It did finally. Right. We had 10 men.
I suppose that's one of the positives, jumping back, that they could only score when we were physically down to 10 men. Because Ryan Hall would...
he was down, wasn't he? Yeah.
Because we had Sinfield binned.
Connor off,
going like 2 minutes on a green card when what the FNL's going on here, and Ryan Hall puking up with an injury. Yeah. God knows what.
But like I said, the situation with Jack, one of them things, wasn't it? But it's got to be applied consistently across it. How they do that, I don't know.
I agree.
You know,
it's so tough, and I'd never ever be a ref. First of all, because I'm not intelligent enough, but secondly, it's the most unforgiving in any sport. But I was more disappointed that, because we all knew, everyone watching this, listening to this, I don't need to tell anyone this, it was always going to be a really close, tough game. But I was more disappointed that set the precedent and the taste for the rest of the game. I didn't want that. I wanted it.
Yeah, you don't want everyone calling for a header.
That's what I didn't want. I didn't want, because I said to Kez, my friend, the south stand in particular, the whole ground now, every headshot it's going to be. That's that getting, and I hate it when it gets like that.
Jenkins got clocked.
He got massively. Yeah.
And I was like, and I hate this. I was like, stay down, Cooper. But he didn't. He got up and went.
And that just goes against the DNA of a rugby player, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
Down,
and then he's sort of like, what am I doing wanting a player to stay down? But he got smacked round chops.
Absolutely belted.
And I'm like, I'm not saying it should have been a card, but he didn't even get a penalty.
No, nothing.
It'll get like football where they stay down. Oh, it's professionalism. No, it's not. It's cheating.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
and it's cheating. Like
don't get me wrong. If you get smacked round the head and I'm sure it's going to hurt, isn't it? But
I thought you were going to say, don't get me wrong, if you do it against St Helens, that's fine. But stay down, Cooper.
I don't know what the answer is, but they've either...
Lomax has done it for years, hasn't
he? Yeah. It's going to end up with people just staying down. I've noticed it quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, jumping back a few games, the Warrington one...
let's review that.
He didn't stay down. He was gobbing off at ref.
He was running to the refs, and so was Danny Walker and Williams. Going, hey, he's just...
Yeah.
But don't you think there's more of that crept into it since that, though, now? Whereas before, referee had that seemed to have a bit more respect and discipline, whereas now we have got players
it's crept in,
crowding the referee now, saying, are you checking for this? Are you doing this? What about that? And I'm like, just let me get on with my job. Just let me do my bit, you know?
And Chris Lackey Miller is a bit...
Yeah, it is.
He does wave his arms and chirp, and I think that's one thing used to drive me mad about Luke Gale and Trent Merrin. Their petulance used to, more than anything else.
Maybe our idea of you've got an instant HIA if you stay down, that might stop them.
Because they come to fruition.
They know they can stay down. And
who's the head of the referees? I forgot.
God knows what happens at RFL. Who knows?
It was Bentham last time.
But we know you're watching, so just change it.
He got bullied, didn't he? But
also, sorry, everyone's having a go at Kendall on all social media and everything. It's not him that sent him off.
No.
It's the video ref.
Shout the video.
But even like that though, like so when I turned up at ground and my mate said it, Kendall referee, and you just knew it was going to be a penalty fest. It was literally you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like having to go at refs because it must be a difficult job.
It's horrible.
It is.
But they just need to be consistent. But the problem is, it's not just setting a precedent.
We've got two more cards to discuss.
It's not simply setting a precedent for that game, is it? It's setting a precedent for the whole game.
For the rest of the game.
Because people watch it, don't they? So,
it'd be interesting to see what the directives are from.
And you're like, they're worse than what were red cards.
Yeah.
So what?
And that's what I'm saying, that consistency of application of different games, different officials. You could have the same thing happen in one game and another, and it's not even penalised in one game, and the other one will end up in a red card.
Well, you sometimes see it, like you said, in the same game.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, Jack gets binned for one, Cooper takes one straight round chops.
No penalty awarded.
It's not even a penalty.
Not a thing.
And I hate when that happens in games.
It happened last night on numerous occasions, and I think it was Cooper Jenkins or someone else had been caught high. We give Ulke Hart ball, same tackle apple to Mikey Lewis, got up, played ball, then referee gave a penalty.
Off back of that. And it was no worse than the one but he'd just let go in previous set of six when we had ball.
And to be fair, it's happening in NRL, so it's not the clamping down.
A massive clamp down at NRL. Shook them to the core.
But I think Brad Arthur said, I don't know what more I can tell them to do.
No.
We've altered the height.
Yeah.
Obviously not working.
Have to have a big like bright coloured line across the top of your shirt,
across the
and
shirt.
It's got anything above there is
highlighted zone.
Or some fireworks come on.
To be fair,
little rockets.
I don't think it is head-eye tackles, is it? It's shoulders to the head that's causing the problem. So
what part of the body? Yeah. We'll talk about some more soon.
Just skip the other red card because he were red card all day long, will KR.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Something a bit more, slightly more positive. Riley Lum. I thought you were. I'm choking up. I thought you were excellent again.
Yeah.
It's got a great try. I bet that link up with Ash as well. Because
Yeah.
it's still early, quote unquote, days for them two.
I think Ash is making a great centre. That's
unbelievable.
That try they scored.
Unbelievable.
That shows why he's going to make a good centre because of the speed.
He would, he gave it ball, didn't he? And then he stayed in that position, didn't he? Supported through. He Riley tried to give him it back a little bit too early, couldn't he? But
yeah, but that's Ash's rugby brain there.
Absolutely.
It's like, you're giving it too back quick.
There were a couple of times where I'd like to have seen Ash giving ball a bit sooner.
And trust him in the ball.
Yeah, I think that's where his winger instinct came in, where he got ball and he thought, I'm final player here, and he had Riley out and he could have given him a bit more speed. But
I think he might be protecting him a bit because he's been pushed into touch a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he might be protecting his winger a
little bit, yeah.
Because there's a couple of times where Riley's had a chance to go, and I think himself he's gone, I'm going to go back inside.
Come back inside because
where he probably didn't need to. He's a young kid, he's going to learn.
Yeah, I think you're right, because sometimes even though there's space on outside, there's not enough space, and he needs to start to come back in naturally, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he can show him ball back on inside.
Illa is a young kid.
Yeah. He did well.
Because they did try and pepper him, didn't they? But he didn't do it wrong.
They tried to pepper him, but he also come in and did his fair share of work coming out
massively
of our own 20. And like I said, from where I stand, and they were camped on our line, their line speed were great, and he were there, and they've got a good pack on them, haven't they?
Yeah,
and he didn't shirk any responsibility.
No. Excellent. I thought the forwards were really good again. You'll have to play the Duncan party.
You're our resident prop now.
Yeah, the top notch, aren't they? I think Palacia's doing amazing work.
Gets through a lot of work, as does Jenkins.
I like Cooper Jenkins. I think he's a great. He's whacked people, didn't he?
You spotted him, didn't you?
I scouted him
in that game.
I scouted
it's all down to Chris
in that one game.
Like Wahia Hargreaves did nothing, did he?
No.
They sort
I do
of just,
rate him.
They just sort of.
I really do.
Under control.
I think he's one of the last.
They've got a good pack,
breed.
They're like a workhorse pack, aren't they? They're not particularly explosive, but they're big.
They have got a good pack.
I thought we managed them.
Taylor 2 packs. I thought it were two.
Two good sides, weren't there? I think, like you said, when we had to change some of our outside backs for injury and that and stuff and things, and they had makeshift centres and wingers as well. They were missing Burgess and Davis, but
we'll gloss over.
To be fair, Broadbent's not a bad player, and they had Peter Hickey on the other side. So,
but where did Broadbent want that quick at Leeds?
No, where did that come from? To be fair, I used to wax lyrical about him years ago on this pod. Yeah, I don't think he's that mad.
Yeah, the packs were good. Packs were good. Alexi were good. I think they all put a shift in.
Even Lasoni.
There we go. I was about to say.
We said, didn't we, on the pod, I want to see him do that against a top pack.
Yeah.
And they were doing it, and then got sparked out.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did spark one of theirs out.
Tanga,
but he did. That's what I wanted to see him do. Is that he stood up against the bigger pack.
Just needs to do more of it.
Yeah.
That's what we
want.
The
bigger boys, literally the bigger teams and the bigger forwards.
It does seem like something's clicked with him.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
playing for a new deal.
He's due up for a contract.
Possibly,
it's either that or he's getting moved on.
Got a new deal?
Possibly, I don't know. But it was like last 3-4 weeks. He's done what he were brought in to do.
I think it's more playing for a new deal. Or you're right, but I think it's more Arthur saying.
Well, he were in his ear, wasn't he, before he came on?
Yeah.
I've got a young prop here, particularly in Little Tom in TNW, who's raring to go. I've got Callum Watkins now, so I'm dropping different positions and things, but I'm really juggling this side now. I'm trying to squeeze players in. It's really hottening up, and if you don't start.
But they're all interchangeable as well. If you look at all them forwards, that can easily drop.
I agree.
He has got something different about him, hasn't he?
He has.
So that's where he should be.
Yeah.
If he can play like that every week.
He's got something incredibly unique in that he's a crowd lifter.
Oh, everyone loves him, don't they?
The second he comes on, like even Mick, who for me is the best prop in the league, even when he goes off and comes on, there isn't like
No.
Oh, he's taking this carry. But whenever Lasoni comes on,
I think, because like you said, Lasoni's going to come in.
He's at first receiver.
He's going to take it off the back fence like he does or whatever and come onto it, whereas Eledski does it consistently, doesn't he? He's always got that go forward.
That's another thing, yeah.
I think Lasoni should just be coming on, blowing himself out for 10-15 minutes, go off for a rest and come back on and have that impact.
I got an issue with that. As long as them 15 minutes,
he does what he does.
Full impact constantly.
Yeah.
And
whereas Eledski's an 80-minute prop and he can play 80 minutes, can't he?
He'll just run it through and never stop.
They're just workhorses.
Okay, really, yeah. They never stopped. Tons of effort.
Bentley played prop as well, didn't he? So I don't mind him there.
McDonald just goes about his stuff, doesn't he?
I put a great shot on
Tanganoa.
Tanganoa. Wow. And to be fair, you guys have watched it back, but from the ground, he had to look like he touched him.
No, he didn't. He got his shoulder.
He just did it perfect.
Yeah.
Just got him absolutely on the button.
He used Tanganoa's speed to knock himself on just his ass. Boom. It was perfect technique.
But
he just walked off.
He had his arm out as well, and if he hadn't put his arm out, it'd have been a shoulder charge, and he'd have been big. Do you know?
It was perfect. It's like, I'm going to shoulder charge him, but I'm going to make it look like I've tackled him. So he wrapped it and just...
God, he sat him straight on his back, didn't he?
There's not many people do that.
No, he's a good player.
It was Tanganoa. No, but him what got on back end of Lasoni as well.
Lasoni twatted him as well, didn't he?
Night, wasn't it, for him?
Absolutely. Ryan all went off injured, so it left us a little unbalanced. But Watkins, I mean, an outside back goes off injured, and you bring on Callum Watkins.
He was immense as well when he came on.
That has to be. I mean, what a sub!
Yeah, he was immense.
Got to be the best sub in Super League.
He's probably going to get a run at centre in here.
Yeah,
but he made tons of meters. I don't know whether you've got them.
He got through. We were saying last night, at the game when he came on and afterwards and stuff, he's got to that age now where he's changed his game, hasn't he, to suit where he's playing. And I know he's done that when he was at Salford and moving into the second row, but I mean, to be able to come and drop back in where he played and do the amount of work he did, he just looked like he's never been away.
Do you know, like you often on your May, I often talk about like natural born rugby league players. Ellery Hanley, you could just drop a player anywhere, and you'd be like, that I'm not. That doesn't upset me.
Yeah,
because I was thinking, because he plays loose. He's played loose.
He's a natural born athlete.
I don't think he is.
I'm going to say it. Even if they said, right, we're going to spell him at prop.
Well, he played prop week before. He did the spell at prop.
He can do it. He could play anywhere.
I'm not against it.
And I think he played even last night. I think he played sometimes like a middle.
Yeah,
he came in and defended a lot. Yeah.
He did some really good cover defence as well when they were getting on outside of us a little bit.
I think I've just forgotten how good he was, or how good he is. So it's been a godsend of a signing, especially when you get injuries to your outside back.
I was just thinking that's got to be the best sub, one of the best players coming off the bench. And again, it touches on that squad depth.
Yeah, well, he's got cover in loads of different positions now, hasn't he?
But he'll be
from one player.
I'm sure we'll get onto that later, but
we'll get onto it. I just want to talk about Hull KR and Mikey Lewis in particular, because he is he is a grub. He is an outstanding player, an awesome player. He had a massive effect on the game, kicked a 40-20 at the absolute perfect time, clutch play, balls of steel, absolutely dialed it in, and of course scored the winning try. He is going to go to the NRL.
The thing is, what really annoyed me about yesterday is...
We got beat.
Well, no, we'd kept him quiet.
All the way through the game. I guess that's what I'm talking about. That stardust of that razzmatazz of kind of quiet. He
can turn a game.
But then went, it's now on ever. 40-20, score, and then scores his own try.
What you wanted me to say?
He's a grub. Like I said, I've watched him back. He is a talented rugby player, but if you watch... Like, we were tackling and that and stuff, and he's not even involved in the play, and he's pulling players back by the shirt and getting involved and stuff and things like that. You know, the 40-20 was a brilliant play, and from like I said, from where I stand, there was nothing Lockie Miller could have done about it, because by the time it had bounced and realised that he had to get back in, it was still in play a bit, like 7 foot over the touchline, you know. So he would never
just an awesome.
It was
kick.
just a great kick,
yeah.
And then like the ball that he gave out, but he's just, you know, when Lum scored in corner, he came sliding in with his knees. I know, whatever, but you just think any other player, he's not going to cut in or whatever, and he had to have that sliding with his knees, and he's in there and stuff. And
do you think he'll get picked for England?
Yeah. I
think he'll start for England.
No,
I
don't
think he will.
No, he'll come on as hooker.
Yeah,
he'll come on at 14, won't he?
He ain't got that Wigan impact. What's your
Williams and Smith, won't it? Even if they've got one leg each.
It's probably a perfect spot for him to come on and disrupt Australians when. Do you know what I mean? Because
do you think he's good enough to disrupt?
If he starts
Australia,
they'll get into him straight away. But if he comes on as a sub, he's got a chance to get into them. He'll disrupt him.
I think so.
It was interesting. He threw a pass into touch yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Last night, and it went out. And I watched, and soon as he did it, Jake Connor come past, and he was chelping in his
straight into him.
I know, like, brilliant. You know what I mean? He's back.
The thing is that we discussed this yesterday with some OKR fans, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I don't mind that bit of grubbiness. I don't mind that cockiness, but you've got to back it up. And at the moment, Michael Lewis is backing it up. The thing is, Jake Connor's not really having a go at anyone, is he?
No. Just playing awesome.
He's backing it up if he did. Yeah. So it's like, I don't mind it.
No. He's a good rugby player, and like you said, he's just frustrating that he did what he did against us last night, because we had kept him quiet against him. Even like when he's kicking, you might as well just have another defender in line, because if you touch a kicker now or whatever and go down, it's a penalty anyway, isn't it?
Fifth once.
Yeah.
We did
got it once.
Got it once. I think it was McDonald, actually.
McDonald got him.
It's just,
once.
He's good, isn't he? But
that's enough of that.
That's enough of him.
If you just joined, this is a Hulkinston Rovers podcast.
A player who's miles better than Mikey Lewis is Lachie Miller. Another remarkable performance again from Miller. Seemed to be everywhere, involved in all areas of the game. He runs so well with the ball. I felt like he were playing You Are the Chairman of the producer Chris Lachie Miller fan club. I felt like he played like a man possessed.
2 issues though
last night. 2 issues with your man.
Yeah. Play ball properly, please. And stop.
You need to look directly at the camera to your man.
Please play ball properly. Don't fall over, and don't try and milk a penalty like that.
Stop whinging.
Just get up and play the ball.
Yeah. Other than that, you'll love it.
So it's 99% good. One day he's going to take a quick tap and he's going to
score. He's going to score.
Why is nobody going with him?
I don't know. I don't think he knows he's going to do it. And
it's a great move,
you know,
because it's all right saying, "Well, you're going to take a tackle," but you've totally disrupted their defensive line, haven't you?
Usually get about 30 metres,
and they're always turned. Yeah. They've always got the back to him,
and they're always like, "What the eh?"
But you're right. If somebody goes with him and they get a quicker play of the ball,
that's what I mean. It's like
one either side, either shoulder,
or he might be able to tip it onto him, but. He's going to get through one of these.
He's going to score.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a belting move.
Because I don't think teams are wisen up to it.
You've got to tell the ref what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
You can't just do it.
You've got to go, I'm tapping
You've got
him
to
off.
say, I'm tapping it. Or I'm kicking it. You can't just do it. So it's a sneaky move. It's got to come off at some point. Well, it does work anyway, because you're gaining 30, 35 metres.
It makes some good yards with it.
Defence are like, what's going on?
Well, they're using it as a bit of a rest, aren't they? When someone kicks a touch, they
take a breather.
Get a breather, get the defensive line set, and they know that they're there. But like you said, if he catches them on top a bit.
But what he has done is his pass selection is really, really good. But we wouldn't have scored that first try if it weren't for what he did. He dragged everyone to right, didn't he?
Yeah, and came back.
Pirouetted.
The pass I gave to Jake Connor,
he didn't.
Brilliant.
Absolutely outstanding.
He didn't run across the face. He thought, well, I can pass it.
Yeah.
And it totally bamboozles them.
The ball can move quicker than we can.
Jake Connor was absolutely on the money there.
Put the kick through.
You can't underestimate how little time he had to think to make that
decision.
Yeah.
The footwork he's shown, and then to put the kick in as well.
The pass made that move.
Yeah.
Because it was a bullet pass on the money, wasn't it? And Yeah, he's playing outstanding. I'm really pleased that he's cut the errors out, which is what he wanted to do.
He's got more understanding of rugby league now, hasn't he? Because when he first came, his rugby union sevens,
I think he'd only played 20
came into
games.
it, didn't it? And he was always trying to find that gap and go backwards and forwards.
Yeah, and he's not now.
Whereas now he knows that he can take his tackle, play direct. He always beats that first person really with a step. I mean, he threw Dean Hadley off yesterday like a ragdoll when he caught ball.
I think he's got such a great handoff.
And he went, but yeah, I think he realises now he can just do what he needs to do his work, play the ball, and that's it. His job's done.
And I were a bit worried about his defence, but it were actually Statman Reese that told me this because he watches rugby union, and he says actually Sevens players have got a really, really good defence.
Well, less of them.
You've got it, yeah. No one else
it's always technically 1-on-1. I'm guessing, isn't it?
No one's going to give you a hand.
His defensive reading's really good, like his positioning, and
he seems to have so much time under high ball as well. You know, when they put high ball, he's like in that position for ages before it comes down.
He's going really well.
Yeah,
so I'm pleased for him. Cheers, Lucky. Keep going.
The president of the club spoken.
The chairman speaks again. Absolutely excellent. 20 minutes to go. Leeds are winning 14-8. Sue gets a red card. Should we have seen this game out from this point, Phil?
Yeah, definitely. But we've been in this position before, haven't we? As we touched on, against all them top teams competing.
We've lived this life.
We just can't seem to get over that line and close it out, which is where this game management just comes in a little bit. And we've said it before, haven't we? Somebody recognising where we are, we're in front of that game, how long's left, and let's just start to manage it a little bit better than what we did.
Kill it down, kill the time.
There's two incidents that lost us that game. Harry Newman dropping ball. Harry, just get up and play ball, please.
He was milking for a penalty there.
Well, and he's ended up headbutting him, so he might get
a ban.
Yeah.
But just get up and play ball, please. Same as Lucky.
No more milking penalties.
Yeah.
We were on top then. We were sort of... We'd have scored within the next 5 minutes.
It was 74 minutes when they scored.
Just feel like the review started and just hit the
that killed all momentum. And then Watkins, I know we've praised him.
His offload
to
first tackle on it.
Just forcing it. Offload to Jared, wasn't it?
You can blame the defence or the red cards, or you can blame all of that. Those two are the reasons we lost. We were on top then. We'd got them. They were gas.
Compounded by the mirrors, weren't we?
We'd realised that they weren't playing two proper wingers, so we were spreading it ball. Like that break, because Newman were excellent, and he had food poisoning as well. He shouldn't have really been playing.
Right.
But it went onto wing, and they were making breaks, and they were running strong.
I think he's so good. Honestly,
just don't do that.
Just don't do that, Harry. Please.
But like I said, it has boiled down to them two key things, hasn't it? If you look at that game, or we were competing, and again, it's just about recognising the timing of the game, where we are, what position we're in, and then and reacting to it and shutting it down. And we've said it before, we just haven't switched on to that as yet.
We did shut up shop a bit when they went down to 12.
Oh, massively.
And they shouldn't have done.
Massively.
They sort of tried to defend lead and they shouldn't have done, but we should have had it done and dusted anyway.
We went the opposite way. We should have gone more on attack and think, now let's put this to bed. Yeah. Let's get territory. Even if we get a penalty and knock one over, 2 more points. But we kind of withdraw into ourselves and think, if Brodie Croft is playing, does that change? Does it change that last 20 minutes? Does Brodie Croft have the game management, Chris, to sort of see us over?
I'm not sure it's game management. I think it's stop making stupid errors when we're on top. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, that's not game management, is it? That's stop being idiots.
Yeah. Keep hold of it.
We've done so well for 60 minutes.
It's just so hard and so frustrating, isn't it? I think when they're there and the ball and they can try and get it away or whatever and stuff, but it's recognising it. But I think if you've got an older head or someone manage it, if Cam Smith's there,
Cam Smith's a bigger miss than people think.
Yeah,
it's enormous.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it, bigger miss than Brodie.
Probably.
Brodie's more of his game management's there and that and stuff, but in terms of that, I think he's more of a running threat, more of a 6. But I think if you had, like you said, you had a Cam Smith or just someone there 100%. Managing it and controlling it and shutting it down and just giving directives. This is what we want to do over the next 5 minutes. That's it, and we've won.
Yeah.
I don't think them things happen.
No, No. But like I said, I think it was those two incidents, and then we went into a shell when they went down. We shouldn't have done. It should have been right. Because there was still a fair while left, wasn't there? It's like,
20 minutes.
We're not... This isn't one. We need to attack.
We'll let them get on top in that. We'll let them come back into it in there. Because the one...
and me and Eddie said it quite a few times. We think they're a bit fragile. So, like...
Oh, massively.
I knew they were going to lose.
It's that fragility just comes in again, and it's something.
Do you think it's a mindset thing, though, 100%. Mentality of players, or what? Because we've competed with all top 5 teams, and we've got to that same point in every game, and we're there or thereabouts, and we haven't won any of them.
We should have beaten Warrington.
Warrington was very, very similar.
14 points.
Yeah.
We played really well at Y. We should have beat them. A man binned, and we go on to lose. Perhaps that's one that's slightly different. St Helens in the cup, we played really well.
There's just
a 5-10 minute period when Saints scored, we just went, oh no,
it was off the back of an error.
I'm just going to say it's all off back of an error.
So to me, it's a mental thing of, oh my god, are they going to score again? Oh, are we going to get beat? But I don't know how. And then again, obviously I don't know how.
And especially when
that doesn't seem like an easy fit. Well, it can't be, because it's been happening for a while.
Especially when we're in front, we're winning the game. We don't have to go out and win it. We just ain't got to lose it. And that's the killer. That's what we're doing.
Leeds' biggest enemy is Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds Rhinos beat themselves.
With 95, 96, 97% a top team.
If we just...
And it's that little bit...
It may even be a confidence thing.
But I do think it'll switch round.
I
don't think the whole year will be like this.
No,
I honestly think...
It can't continue.
I honestly think they'll learn from what's
from these 3 games we mentioned.
Because it's not like we're getting battered, is it? Look at this points difference.
No.
We've not been ridiculously outplayed, have we, by any team? No. In fact, I'd probably say the only one that we got beat by, and I thought we played poorly, is Wakefield.
First game. Yeah. That's
Do you know what I mean? All the rest of them that we've lost, we've been better team.
Yeah. And that performance has been there. It's just that not that 80-minute performance, what we're after.
Right, we'll move on to the stats. The stats pack for the week. I'm just going to do the carries and player metres. Miller, 21 carries, 235 metres.
We think.
519 metres. Newman, again, I thought he were outstanding. I always do, though. 14 carries, 133 metres.
If you've had food poisoning all week. And
14 carries, 133. I thought he were absolutely outstanding, but I always do. Ash, 19 carries, 165 metres. Not bad to say. Got a red card. Probably could have got 200 if he'd have stayed on. Watkins, another great effort from Cal. 15 carries, 94 metres. Riley Lum, 18 carries, 133 metres. The pack didn't really do much. The highest were KP. He got 66 metres from 12 carries, and Holroyd got 55 metres from 7 carries. Anything else from this game?
I'm not surprised with pack there, because it wasn't that type of game.
No, it wasn't a game where you blast them through. No, I agree. Even Oletsky got...
We pretty much nullified each other out. Both packs nullified each other out, so the meters were always going to be made by outside.
And like I said, all the tries were scored by outside.
Of course, it wasn't really... They did play incredible. Anything else from this game before we choose our man of the match? No? All done, all tucked in. Put it to bed.
Yeah.
I
think so.
So it's time for us to choose our Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match. But just before we choose our votes, we would like you to play along at home. Comment below on this video on YouTube with your selection for Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match, and let's see if you agree with us. Producer Chris, who's got your vote for the Player of the Match? The Fast Science Player of the Match.
Between KP and LM, it was Lockie Miller, wasn't it?
Lockie Miller. Philip, do you agree? Or is it someone different?
No, I agree. Lockie Miller, for me, Jake Connor deserves a mention. Just for
being JC.
Just for being JC.
The JC pod.
But yeah, no, I thought he played well. Like I said, forwards stood up and be counted. Cal Watkins had a really good game when he come on, but for me, I think purely he was safe at back. He was a good attacking threat. Lockie Miller, man at match for me.
2 more.
3 more. I've got that.
Come
there.
on, Lockie.
Congratulations, Lockie. You are the Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match. Second week running, so if you get 3 more, Lockie, this award will be the Lockie Miller Fast Science player of the match. And if that isn't an incentive enough to keep playing as you are, then I don't know what is. Moving on, we've had some club news / transfer news this week. Again, another busy week for the Rhinos. We will start with the news of out in Australia, as it was confirmed earlier this week that over in the NRL, that Perth will become an NRL side in 2027, and reports from Australia say Brad Arthur could soon be confirmed as the head coach of this new Perth franchise. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but Brad Arthur will be confirmed pretty soon. It's a case of when, not if. I'll go first if you don't mind. This news, we spoke about it yesterday. This news has relaxed me because I was fully expecting Arthur to leave the Rhinos before the season was over and head back over to the NRL, because some of the NRL sides have made shocking starts to their year. Newcastle, for instance. So I actually feel better now knowing that Arthur's going to leave us at the end of the year, because I was petrified.
Yeah.
He was going to leave during the season.
And it's kind of the perfect job for him, innit?
Absolutely. We did it, Parramatta.
Built a side. That
he is the man.
And he'd been mad. I think was it $5.5 million deal or something.
Yeah.
But it's
and am I right in saying his wife's from Perth?
Yeah. It's a perfect job for him to build up a team, innit?
Yeah.
So if he gets offered it, he's off, I think.
Yeah. What did you make of it, Phil?
He's always been open and honest about it.
Yeah, he really has.
He's never committed further than he has been willing to commit, if that makes sense. He's always gone, if this happens, I'm going to look at that. And I get it, I think other week he was saying, his son was making his debut for Newcastle. etc. or whatever, and he's missing out on that father type stuff, being on other side of the world, and like if he can go back for a prime job in a location what he knows back in his own country, then so be it. I just hope that if it does get announced in next week or so or whatever that he's leaving, that Bleasy and co start that succession planning now, so that the incoming coach can continue to build on what he's already set in place.
I think they'll be if he gets offered it,
which he will,
and they'll want a decision straight away, won't they?
Yeah.
And fair dues to Brad Arthur, he's gone up even more in my estimation.
I agree.
The bloody journalist asking him the same question on his presser.
I agree.
And he shut him down. Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah.
He's
I watched it with you.
Oh, yeah, you did. He said, what did he say? Something like, I'm not being rude, but you just
you keep asking the same questions, James.
You're going to get the same answer.
It's the same answer, mate. I'm doing an Australian accent.
It's really bad.
That's what I have to clarify.
So I just hope they stop asking it. It's like,
I'm glad to shut him down.
He'll tell you
when I'm ready and when it's announced.
When there's news,
we'll give it. But yeah, I hope we just, like I said, I hope we get that planning bit right now, just so that they can continue the work what he's been doing, if that's how we want to go.
My wife's from Perth, so there's still a link there. So
also you're going home.
No,
you're a Brad Arthur fan, not a Rhinos fan. We will, of course, react, discuss, dissect any Brad Arthur news and who our next coach will be once something has been confirmed. That's a full podcast that we are going to do.
Who do you want?
But again,
who do you want?
That is a full podcast. But as soon as anything's confirmed, we'll run down to the studio and we'll record the pod and react as quickly as we can.
Well, the thing is, when we did the Ron Smith one, it was like we discussed who we wanted and we all said Brad Arthur. So again, he must watch it.
I must watch it.
If we start now, it's like the mind trick in it. We can get
light the beacons. But we'll react to it as soon as the news comes. Any news, we'll react to it as we always do on the pod. Other news, transfer news this week. James Bentley signed a new 2-year deal with the Rhinos. What did you make of that deal, Phil, for Bentos?
I think it's just deserved, isn't it? I think he's turned a corner. His performances is doing well, and I'd have no issues with that.
Not at all. Quite happy with it.
I think it's
He's not. People still calling him a penalty machine and all that. not is he?
A few years ago,
Kez?
he was a risky signing, wasn't he? But I think he's settled down, he's stabilised. But I'm happy
he gives away a penalty now and again, but all forwards
always
does
the job, innit?
And you still do need a bit of that grubbiness in your pack, don't you?
Yeah. And like I said,
he's got the line right, hasn't he?
Yeah, if they're giving penalties away, they're in the right area, aren't they? They're not being shy and that and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Any team's going to benefit from somebody with a work rate like him.
Yeah.
It's immense, isn't it? So,
and the fact he's covering it prop as well.
And we've lost a second rower, so we didn't want to lose another.
Who? Morgan Gannon has been confirmed. He's signed for the New Zealand Warriors on a 3-year deal from 2026 onwards. We'd just like to wish Morgan a strong end to the season. I think we can all agree with that. And all the very best out in the NRL. Now, it's time to look ahead to the Rhinos' next fixture. It's Magic Weekend up next, and the Rhinos take on an incredibly massive side that we have an incredibly massive issue with. The major issue being we cannot beat them. It is, of course, St.
Did
Helens.
You see them play?
No.
On Thursday.
Last time I saw them play the Beatles in the Cup.
They were shite.
Really?
Sorry,
George.
Long may it continue.
I have not seen a St Helens side that bad for years and years.
Really?
Yeah, they were terrible.
So you're telling me we got a chance?
Because Warrington weren't even that good and they pummeled them. Warrington didn't have any halfbacks.
Yeah.
No, they brought that young kid on.
Yeah. Brought a 17-year-old on or something. But it's just typical, isn't it? They'll probably turn up.
Said it now,
Well, look,
they were absolutely shocking. Right.
The stat that we always say on here, over our last 20 meetings, Saints have dominated us. They've won 18 of 20 games.
That's bad, that.
It's an issue.
It should be 18 of 21
it's an issue
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. But that is an issue. Anyway, that's by the by. Any changes to the side?
Yes.
Producer Chris, what would you like to see? What's going to happen? We've got a few injuries. We've got potential ban.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think Ash will get banned.
Don't you?
No.
That'll be good news.
He's got a clean record, hasn't he?
That'll be good news.
I think they'll look at it and realise. I think they'll think that Redway, a bit like Cade Cust, didn't get banned, did he?
No.
And his were pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ash would try to. We're not going back on it. Ash would try to tackle.
So Ash will play.
Ash should play, but I think we might have to move Ash onto a wing.
Back onto a wing and Watkins into the centre.
I'm keen for him to play centre, but I think
no ECW.
He's not. I heard him talking actually in ground yesterday. He was talking to someone and he said he's a couple of weeks away, so he's not fit.
No.
Right. I think I prefer to move Ash back to wing rather than Harry if Harry's playing. If you don't get banned for headbutting someone. So I think I'd put. I don't know which side, but put Ash back on the wing
for the game
with either Harry or Watkins in centre and Riley the other
side.
I think. I know Brad wants to keep him at centre, but I can't think of a better way around the predicament.
It leads itself to it, doesn't it? I thought yesterday when Rhino went off and they moved Harry Newman to wing, I thought they'd have moved Ash onto that wing.
Yeah, I agree.
And put Watkins in centre.
And put Watkins with...
Because Harry Newman on the wing was a little bit... You know, you had somebody who's an out-and-out winger.
Yeah, it would have been dislocated.
I just thought it would have been...
Yeah, it made sense to me to put Ash there.
It did, but we did score on that wing.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
So what do we know?
Yeah.
I think he sees them as a good partnership, doesn't he? So I don't think he wants to... And Ash is looking after Riley, isn't he?
He is, and he's doing a good job.
To be fair, I think Watkins could do that, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
So I think... Other than that, I wouldn't change the side, really.
No.
Same for you?
Same, yeah.
Obviously, Sinfield stays in.
Sinfield stays in.
That's an absolute no-brainer.
Same. It's just those
them
centre and wing positions are going to have to shift around.
The rest of it takes care of itself.
Like you said, you could have swapped to either side.
Somebody in. You might put Frawley on bench because you're going to have to bring somebody in for Callum Watkins, aren't you?
For Cal.
I'd like to carry another back on bench just to give us that cover.
You could put Frawley there because he can cover 9.
Yeah, he could cover 9. So, yeah, I think
7.
I think that might be.
Like I say, he played 9 for Canberra sometimes, so I think
might see him on the bench.
Or even that though, you could move Sinfield to 9, couldn't you? Put Frawley back at half back or whatever.
I think another half back. Or another back on
the bench, definitely. Yeah, I think he'll do that. Predictions? Anyone want to go first?
Well, if they play as bad as they did on Thursday, we could be 40-0 up. Honestly, they were that bad.
We'd still get beaten last 5 minutes.
Still blowing 41
It's going to finish
when Lomax sticks a 1 pointer over. We'll be here again, recording the same pod again for the millionth time.
Well, Lomax might not get picked again. I don't know.
No,
they're going to step up. They'll have got a right rollicking. They were that poor. The defence was terrible.
Leeds by 40.
No. We should be beating them. I'll be really pissed off if we don't beat the current Saints side because they're a shadow of the former selves. We should be beating them by 18.
Leeds by 18. Phil?
30 points to 6.
Ooh.
Leeds.
Wow.
I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think we're gonna.
Wow.
I think we're gonna
Did you see him?
I think we're gonna. I saw it second half. I was at work. Yeah. I think we're due an 80-minute performance.
I think we're going to get it.
Yeah, hopefully. And
I'm going to say...
Again, it's coming back against the poor.
I'm not as confident. Leeds by 2. I'm sticking to that. Leeds by 2.
Any 2.
82.
82. 102 to 100. We were down at Brotherhood yesterday. You touched on it briefly. Taking part in a Hull KR documentary.
We're becoming famous now, aren't
Rugby
we?
League superstars now.
League superstars.
That was really nice. The Hull KR media team apparently said we were the best Rugby League podcast. So sorry if you're a Hull KR podcast.
I do for
any other podcast.
Or any other podcast. So yeah, we got invited. It was really good, wasn't it?
It was kind, it was sweet. Thanks to Brotherhood as always. We've got a great relationship with them for looking after us. The 2 KR fans were lovely.
Yeah, really
absolutely
nice people,
lovely.
And we had a good chat.
It's gonna the Hull KR are doing similar to what Leeds did. They're filming their season, so it's going to be a full documentary on their season. I can only assume it's going to be available.
Yeah,
soon.
but it does sound a bit different and a bit interesting because they wanted to concentrate on the fans, which is why
that's good.
I don't know, we're not all KR fans, but they're trying to get fans of the game to talk about it. So I don't know how much will get put in, but we will start talking for about an hour.
Might just all end up on floor. That just cut that completely.
We would just sat chatting with them for an hour. What a lovely pair of people, weren't they? And
they were lovely.
So yeah, our ugly mugs.
Maybe on that documentary. So
All Kingston Rhinos.
All Kingston Rhinos.
Look out for it. Thanks to Phil. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to listening. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. If you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, please leave us a review, a 5-star review. It just really bumps us up those podcast charts more than you'll know. Don't forget you can also follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky and TikTok. If you just search for The Lot Pod, you can keep up to date with what we do throughout the week. We will be back for the St Helens Review podcast. Everyone that's going up to Newcastle, please enjoy Magic Weekend. Have a lovely time, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.